How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store is running its huge August savings sales right now with a ton of great deals available on a variety of PlayStation 4 and 5 games. Here to look at the deals under $10. We'll get into this video in a little bit, but quickly, we do have a word from our sponsor, cdkeys.com. Go get your PSN credit over there, and you'll get these deals at an even better price over there. This video is brought to you by cdkeys.com, where you can get PSN credit even cheaper. Just go on over to the site, pick whatever amount you want to buy, and you'll get it even cheaper. Check out, and immediately you will get a code that you can then redeem on the PlayStation Store. Redeem your code, and boom, you got your PSN credit, and you can buy any of the games we mentioned in this video even cheaper. You can buy games that just came out, like Stellar Blade upcoming games. System Shock Remake is coming out, Destiny 2 Final Shape, you've got SMT5 Vengeance in the near future, a lot of great titles coming out here in the near future, and you can get them even cheaper by getting your PSN credit over at CD Keys. Check out the links in the description box below. Anything you buy also directly supports this channel and is much appreciated. Now, on to the video. Alright, starting things off, do want to give a shout out to Dying Light the Following Enhanced Edition, which is 70% off for $8.99. Dying Light a little bit in the news right now after the announcement of Dying Light the Beast. Looks to be a smaller scale, kind of standalone expansion style game. I believe it initially started off as Dying Light 2 DLC and then it expanded into its own game. Think it looks great, and Dying Light as an IP, if you're not familiar with it, I highly recommend you to check it out. Now, most people do think that Dying Light 1 is the better game over Dying Light 2, and I am very much in that camp, but I still think that Dying Light 2 is a really good game, but Dying Light 1, just chef's kiss as far as the work that Techland put into this game. Great open world, a little bit more contained than a lot of the open worlds you see these days, but still very well done. Combat's quite good. $8.99 for Dying Light 1, great price on that. Next up, Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remastered is 60% off for $9.99. This got pulled off Plus Extra a while ago, and a lot of the Square Enix games kind of come in and out. FF10 is awesome. It's one of the most iconic Final Fantasy games, and I really think a lot of that is because it was one of those games that really showcased what the PlayStation 2 could do. And obviously, while it was a bit of a technical marvel back in the day, it does show its age 23 years after its initial release. But man, Final Fantasy X is still so good. That battle theme as well, fantastic. Love the sphere grid. Thought the characters were pretty likable, all things considered. Auron, what a great Final Fantasy character he is. And the rest of the cast is quite likable as well. No, people have their opinion on Final Fantasy X too. I don't think it's this abomination that a lot of people make it out to be. You know, you are primarily buying this for Final Fantasy X, but I don't think X-2 is all too bad of a game. You know, for $9.99 to get both, damn good deal, and I would definitely say pick that up. Next up, we got God of War III Remastered. Now, I've been pretty vocal about my opinion on God of War pre-God of War 2018. To me, God of War really started resonating with me with God of War 2018. Prior to that, with God of War 1 through 3, Chains of Olympus, Ghosts of Sparta, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the games as like these action titles, but they weren't these top tier games to me. I did really enjoy them, just not this top tier franchise that a lot of people view them at. But guess what? I'm in the minority on that. I always say that I try to be objective when recommending games because my opinion doesn't always line up with everybody else's, and that's totally fine. God of War 3 is a very enjoyable action game. Really wish they would get the HD collection and the Origins collection and all that stuff on PlayStation 4 and 5 so we could play the other games, but it is what it is. God of War 3 kind of ends this arc of God of War, and God of War Ascension did come out. Wasn't crazy about that game as well, but that's another game that's kind of lost in the PlayStation 3 vortex, so you know, maybe someday we'll have a way to preserve it. Next up, we got Batman Arkham Collection, 90% off for $5.99. I recommend this collection ad nauseum. If you're one of the two people that at this point don't own the Batman Arkham games, you know, rectify that immediately because the games are great. Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight, these games are at the level of the Mass Effect trilogy in the sense that they represent a studio at their absolute highest level. BioWare is absolutely washed, Rocksteady is absolutely washed, but we like to think about a studio in their glory days, and Rocksteady with the Batman Arkham trilogy, they could absolutely do no wrong. Arkham Asylum was tremendous and really showcased to a lot of people, myself included, that superhero games could be really good. And I remember leading up to the release of Arkham Asylum, I was like 12 years old, and even back then, like me as a wee little lad, I was like, yeah, a superhero game, this game's gonna be trash. And then I played Arkham Asylum, and I was blown away. And then Arkham City, I thought, was the best game in the series. And Arkham Knight, you know, not as good as the other two, most people would say. Most people aren't crazy about the Batmobile sections, but that's still a really, really great game. And the trilogy for $6, just a great pickup. Alan Wake Remastered is a 67% off for $9.99. If you're a Plus subscriber, you get it for $8.99. This is a game that I really enjoyed, and I have been vocal about my thoughts on Alan Wake 2 as well. I did prefer Alan Wake 1. Again, that is an opinion I am very much in the minority on. If you find Alan Wake 2 at a good price, go try it out for yourself. You're probably going to really enjoy it. That game's got so much going for it. Just didn't click with me as much, but a game that I definitely need to give it another shot to. Alan Wake Remastered, I just think is really good. Is a little bit dated in terms of its game design, but still a worthwhile game to go through. You got the DLC in here as well for $8.99 if you're a Plus subscriber, $9.89 if you're not. Good pickup there. Next up, we got Valkyria Chronicles 4, 80% off for $5.99. Really enjoyed Valkyria Chronicles 4. Just thought it was a really well-done tactics JRPG, and it's a JRPG that its game design is very different than the majority of JRPGs that you're gonna play, and this tactical style of gameplay that I think would actually resonate with a Western audience. Even if you're not crazy about JRPGs, I actually think Valkyria Chronicles is a decent one to give a shot to, whether you play, you know, VC1 or VC4. VC4 is fine to play without playing VC1. You have a enjoyable, engaging war story, a fairly likable cast of characters, even if the main character is fairly generic. But overall, had a great time with Valkyria Chronicles 4 for $5.99. I think that's a no-brainer and definitely would give it a shout. Next up, we got Vampyr, 80% off for $7.99. This is one of those games that I like to go to bat for. Is it a tremendous game? Absolutely not. It absolutely has its fair share of shortcomings. The combat isn't the best, but narratively, voice acting, I think it's really well done, and it was done by Don't Nod, the same people that brought you Life is Strange, so their crafting of narratives, I think, really shines through with Vampyr. The atmosphere is really great. For $7.99, I think it's a pretty good pickup. Just go, you know, go into it with your expectations in check. Don't expect something blow away, and you're gonna have a good time with it. Next up, AI the Somnium Files, 80% off for $7.99. Speaking of games with tremendous narrative, Somnium Files was so good with such an awesome main character in Kaname Date. That was kind of the issue with the sequel, where Kaname wasn't at the center of the story, which, you know, it's fine. The sequel is really good, but play the original, and if you're not super into visual novels and, you know, strictly narrative-driven games, give Somnium Files a shot, and I think you'll end up really enjoying it. Atmosphere, soundtrack, the story, the mystery around it, just really, really well done. $7.99 for that is great. We're gonna round out this video with a bunch of JRPGs. Want to give a shout to all of the Star Ocean games because they are all getting pulled from Plus Extra. That includes Star Ocean Till the End of Time, Star Ocean The Last Hope 4K and Full HD Remaster, and Star Ocean First Departure R. These are all on sale for $6.29 a pop, which I think is a great deal. Till the End of Time and the 4K and Full HD Remaster Last Hope, those were only, actually all three games are only available on Plus Premium. None of these are on Plus Extra, so my apologies on that, but yeah, all three games are also getting pulled for subscribers, so keep that in mind. Till the End of Time is one of those games that I feel like if you were a JRPG fan and you had a PlayStation 2 back in the day, this is one of those games that people really, really got into. I enjoyed Till the End of Time, but guys, I thought it was just like, at a certain point, I was like, can we end this game already? But it was an enjoyable game for sure. I actually enjoyed The Last Hope more than a lot of other people. It has some of the most garbage voice acting, English voice acting that I've ever seen in a JRPG, but from a combat standpoint, environments, I did think there was a lot to like. And First Departure R is the port or the upgraded release of the PSP release of Star Ocean First Departure, which was a remake of Star Ocean 1 on PS1, and then obviously we got Second Story R last year, which I thought was really, really good. But yeah, all those $6.29 a pop, pretty good deal there. And lastly, this is a very quirky JRPG that I wouldn't recommend to everyone. Sakura Wars is 85% off for $8.99. Now, this game has some of the most cringe-inducing dialogue ever, but that cringe-inducing dialogue is almost the charm of the game. It's like a dating sim crossed with the RPG. It is enjoyable. You just have to know what you're getting yourself into. It's not gonna be a game for everyone, and if you're into, you know, corny anime dialogue, Sakura Wars is a game you can have fun with. The visuals and the art direction is actually quite nice as well. $8.99 for Sakura Wars, I think, is a pretty good deal, and you know, definitely wouldn't be paying $60 for it, but at this price of $9, I do actually think it's a decent pickup. But that'll do it for me. Again, a lot of good deals available, and as always, it's just scratching the surface as far as all the games available under $10. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in this comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.